Hey y'all. So it's been a long time since I've made a video. Like almost 2 months, I think. And it'd been like a month since I made a video since then. And there is like this voice in my head that's like, make a YouTube video. And I'm like, oh, I will do it in a minute. And then it never happens and days go by. So finally I'm making myself do it. It's really late at night, but I really feel like I have a story to share. So here I am. So I had a lot of you request that I do a video about my story. And I know that a lot of you know it. I share my story a lot through my blog posts or my Snapchat stories or my Instagram post. Or if you just like talk to me on a daily basis, you probably know my story. But you probably don't know all of it. And I thought that it was really important that I do share it so that you know where I'm coming from, because I really do believe that my experiences in this life have shaped my perspective on the world, and that's why I do what I do and why I am who I am. So, see this girl right here? That was me as a child. And it says princess on the cover of this album because that's what I thought it was. I thought I was a princess. I was a curly-haired, sassy little diva who thought she ran the world. Genuinely, I thought I did. And from the day I was born, I've been loved and nurtured. I was the oldest on my mom's side, the oldest grandchild. For 3 years, I was the only one. And I was the first granddaughter on my dad's side. And I've always loved attention. My sister, she doesn't care about attention at all, but I've always soaked it all in. And I've always found confidence in that. And they've always gave me so much confidence and love. And no matter what I do or what I want to do, they've always supported and loved me. My family has. And I truly believe that is why I am who I am. And from a very, very, very young age, I have had big, audacious dreams. I know that you definitely have heard this if you know me at all, but in first grade, my teacher, Mrs. Janes, at Alton, they do a slideshow at the end of the year at awards day, and one of the slides is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And she asked me, and at first, I remember I said, I want to be a teacher. And then for some crazy reason, I was like, no, wait, Miss Janes, I want to be the first woman president. And I had the courage to go back and tell her I changed my mind. And that one little voice in my head and the courage I had to do that has completely shaped my life. And I still don't know why I thought that, why I thought I wanted to do that. But here I am, and I'm so thankful for that little girl who was brave enough to use her voice. And so, as I grew up, my crazy dream has not changed at all. Here's my little doll that I got for Christmas one year. I named her Kelly. Kelly, I like to think, talks sometimes. Avery can explain why her hand's broken. But this is a Barbie doll, and she is the first woman president. And that sits on my dresser, and it reminds me that I can do this. I know it's crazy, but I really truly believe that I can do it. And I know to you guys that's crazy probably too, but that's who I am. Okay, and so all throughout elementary, I have been a perfectionist, and I always wanted to be the best. And I remember I never got time out in my whole elementary career. I think I'm still pretty proud of that. And I was the perfect kid. I never got in trouble. I excelled in all of school. I pushed myself. I love to read books. And I really, truly believe that has helped me so much. So if you have a young child, make them read. I know they probably won't want to. I loved reading, so that helped me a lot. But seriously, it's like opens up a whole new world. I'm so thankful that I read so many books. But all throughout elementary, I just loved learning, and I never lost my passion. And so in 6th grade, I remember I was in the beta club, and my friend Ben Ash was running for, over in the junior high, he was running for Missouri Junior Beta Vice President. And everyone knew that I wanted to be the president of the United States. And I remember my friend Shaden, she was like, Jace, you gonna run for president next year? And I'm like, well, yeah. And so I held myself accountable. And the next year, I ran. I didn't win. But I learned so much from that experience. Like, I'll probably do a whole post on that. I just can't even tell you guys how much that impacted my life. And that's why, like, I seriously believe with my entire heart that failure can be fabulous. And, you know, yeah, it sucked that I lost, and I was embarrassed, and I'm still embarrassed. But I learned so much, and I made so many new friends. And if I hadn't lost, I wouldn't have created my blog or this YouTube channel or became the person that I am today. Like, there's no way I would have, like, peaked. I would have been fine. But I'm so thankful that I lost. Like, I don't think you guys understand how thankful I am. And that, like, has played a huge role in my life. And after, a few months after, maybe it was just a month after I ran, my dad told me that he was no longer going to be coaching basketball. My dad was a coach for all of my life. He coached at Alton, and he was also our assistant principal. And I know to most of you that, like, doesn't matter, but that was absolutely devastating to me. It broke my heart, and I was just really sad about that. But my Nana, her husband was a coach for, like, forever all around in Sykeston, West Plains, Winona, there. And we had a really deep connection because of that. And I talked to her about it, and she's like, Jace, this too shall pass. She's like, you're going to be glad that you did this for your family. And I am so glad that he did that for my family. And her words of wisdom have, like, I tell everyone that. And that's what I have to get through the day sometimes. If I just tell myself, this too shall pass, I'll be fine. Okay, and then I get fine, I'm over that. Then Christmas Day, my Nana passes away. And what was supposed to be the happiest day of the year was the worst day that I had ever experienced in my life so far. And it was really hard on me. I'm not gonna, like, try to, you know, make it look like it was good, because it was bad. It was really hard. And I remember that I would just lay in bed and I would bawl, and I would be like, why, God? Why did you do that to me? Why did you take my Nana from me? Because we were so close, and I would go over there all the time, and it was so sad to me. But eventually found the strength to carry on. And then the next April, about 3 months later, I think it was three or 4 months, my dad's mom, my grandma, she passed away. And my Nana, she was like 91, I think. My grandma, she was 65 or 66. And my grandma still had so much life left. And I had expected my Nana to pass away. Like, I was hoping that she would make it till when I graduated, but, like, I knew that she wasn't going to live forever. But my grandma, I didn't think that I would be going through my prom or giving speeches or getting a car or my first job or anything like that without my grandma. And that really shook me up, especially since I had just lost my Nana, but also because she was my grandma. And I don't know, I'm not gonna lie and say that, like, it has been, like I figured out grief. Like, it's kind of, like, something you figure out after it happens so much. But I try to use what I've went through to help other people, because that's what gets me through, is knowing that I'm helping other people. But it's also been long nights where I scream and cry, and it's not good. It's not fun by any means, but that definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, has played such a huge role in my life. And while it completely devastated me, it also opened my eyes to show me that tomorrow isn't promised. And you have to love the people that you have in your life so much, relentlessly love them, because you could literally lose them tomorrow. And I'm thankful for that. I always try to find the good in everything, and I'm so, so thankful for that. And then I wouldn't say I got over it, but I guess I went through the acceptance stage of grief. And then in the next February, my great uncle passed away. And I was like, God, are you kidding me? I'm like, when is it gonna stop? Why do you keep doing this to me? And I will not lie, I have such bad anxiety, and I have anxiety about the future, and I'm constantly worrying about who is gonna die next. And I know that sounds awful, but that's truly what goes through my mind every single day. And I wonder, like, am I soaking it all up in? Because I know that with my grandma, I wasn't expecting her to die. And so I would, like, be on my phone when I was around her, and, you know, like, because I was going to see her, like, tomorrow and for the next 20 years. And I took all of our time for granted. And so I worry myself to death that I'm not soaking everything up in, and then it's just bad. But I'm working on it, and it's going to be fine. But my point in telling you my whole story, I mean, obviously there's a lot that you guys don't know, but that's the big things, is that, you know, life sucks sometimes. Like, during, like, your junior high years are hard enough. I had some pretty life-altering events happen, and quite a few of them happened within 2 years. It was crazy. You're changing. Junior high is like when you figure out who you are, and I was forced to figure out who I was within a short time period. And I know the saying, you never know how strong you are until being strong is the only choice you have. That is so true. I don't wish that, like, obviously I wish my Nana and Grandma hadn't died. But because of those things, I found this strength that I never knew I had. And because of those things, I get to share my story and inspire so many people by showing them that what you go through doesn't have to shape you. Like, what you go through, it doesn't matter what it is. It can be something simple, like a breakup or a bad grade on a test. Like, I'm so dramatic when it comes to this. But your life doesn't have to stop. Just because something bad happens to you doesn't mean you can continue writing your story. And this is my quote for life. It'll probably be my senior quote. Like, I tell everyone this. Turn your biggest trial into your biggest triumph. Like, I know that it sucks. I get it. It still sucks for me. It sucks so bad. I don't like to use that word. My grandma hated it when I used that word. But it pretty much describes that it sucks. But take whatever horrible, awful thing you are going through and use it to help others. Because that's why God puts us through those things. So that we can share kindness and show that this world isn't so bad. There is still good in this world, but we just have to look for it. So I don't know what bad thing you're going through. I know that some things are worse than others, and I know that some of you have went through unspeakable events, way worse than what I went through. And I know that it's tough, and it's tough to keep your faith. I know that. But you have to. You have no choice but to continue carrying on. And the one thing other than my faith that has kept me going is knowing that people rely on me. People rely on me to share my story and to help them. And so maybe that's something that will help you too. We rise by lifting others, guys. So whatever you're going through, use it to help other people. Because that right there is how we change the world. That is how we change the world. And I'm just going to leave you guys at that. And I know that my story isn't something big, crazy, fun, you know. Like, it's not glamorous by any means, but it's real life, and it's what I went through, and it's why I am who I am today. And so I hope that by me telling you this, you know a little more about me and why I do what I do and why I pour so much of myself into others. Okay, well, have a great Thanksgiving, and I hope you enjoyed this video.